First of all, Arne, how would you sum up the 90 plus 10 minutes that we've just experienced?
Now, when I heard you correctly, you were saying football match. I'm not too sure if I saw a football match today. It was set piece after set piece, long throw. It didn't have a lot to do with tactics, what I said before the game. But I liked a lot how we stood strong. Very difficult first half hour, 45 minutes. But we didn't collapse at all. We stood strong. And as a result of that, we came 1-0 up. They going down to 10 men, you would expect that is a big plus for us. But yeah, when a goalkeeper takes every free kick, then there's not so much help if you are one player up. And that's why it was so difficult for us to bring the 2-0 over the line.
Boss, congratulations. As you said, Jamie and I played a lot of games like that back in the days. Trust us. But Jamie and I spotted something.
Playing style then.
Jamie and I spotted something on the free kicks. A lot of the free kicks, the line that you were having, wherever they were trying to throw the ball in, you had it very low. The line was very low. And on the goal, Van Dijk decided to go really high. And what was the thought process of that? You got punished, and it's easy now because you got punished. It's easy for us to bring it up. But you did it the whole game. You played low to attack the ball, and on that one you went high.
True. I don't think it's fair to blame Virgil. It's a combination. He has contact with us at the bench. All the other ones were further up the pitch. So we know what their idea is. They bring the ball to the D. Dan Burn is there attacking the ball, trying to make it difficult. There were a lot of difficult situations for us coming off that. So either a second ball or a throw-in or another corner kick. So at that moment of time, we decided that because the ball was so deep, that it was smarter not to get a second ball inside our 18-yard box again. But that was definitely the wrong decision in that moment, looking back at it.
For all that you said about the style of football that you faced tonight, Arne, having taken the lead just right at the start of the second half, were you disappointed with what your team gave you from that point on in the second period? I think your first shot after going 2-0 up was the winning goal.
Yeah, we didn't play well enough with the ball. Every time when we came in the end phase of an attack, our attackers immediately tried to force something, which never led to anything, a few crosses that ended up behind the goal. But like I said, I have to look back at it, but I don't think there was so much open play to be played. And as I said, in a set piece, a long throw and a long ball from the goalkeeper, you don't need an extra. Yeah, it's always nice to have an extra man, but it does not so as beneficial as if they want to bring the ball out from the back and we can press them. So yes, with the ball, the one and only attack that was good in the second, apart from maybe the 2-0, but when after that was the one that led to the goal, which was a great attack. And for the first time, we went from right to the middle to the left, and a great goal for a 16-year-old.
And the impact of the substitution, the young boy Rio, he's caused huge excitement, I think, amongst Liverpool supporters, certainly in the pre-season games. And on the fact of Luis Diaz moving on, does it make you almost change maybe your thought process in terms of maybe replacing Luis Diaz in this next week because you've got such a young special talent like Rio?
Yeah, we have, and he's shown that already a few times. And what I like maybe most from our players is that after the 2-2, I think we had to defend 5 set pieces, 3 throw-ins and 2 free kicks. I don't know how many, maybe I exaggerate a bit. And that wasn't a moment for me to bring Rio and Javi in because the both of them are not so tall. But I did feel, because it was 2-2, to bring 2 players in that can do something special in a moment. And then it's always nice that he scores a goal. I do remember, Jamie, before the game.
I knew that was coming back.
I'm delighted to be proved wrong, boss, I can assure you.
Yeah, no, but you were right. Last season I could bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold and Luis Diaz and Dominic Szoboszlai. But the end result is not the same because last season we were 3-2 up in the last minute. And they scored the 3-3, and today it was 2-2 and we could score in the last minute. But I think this is also what makes the Premier League special. Maybe it wasn't the best game in terms of tactics or in terms of playing football, but I think every fan everywhere around the world enjoyed watching this game of football. Also, because their fans were amazing in terms of the help they gave the home team.
Absolutely, Arne. It was a great watch. And when that ball falls to Rio with 100 minutes on the clock, did you expect him to score?
It was a big chance, and he's a player that can finish really well for his age. So how firm his shot was, you don't see this often for a 16-year-old. I did hear someone say afterwards in the dressing room, I'm not going to say who it was, but I probably would have taken that ball, have a first touch and then finish it off. But he's so confident. That's also what I like, because the first ball he got, he wasn't afraid. He immediately took someone on. And when the second player came, he even got a cross in. And for him to score that goal is not completely coincidence, because he's for his age, he's a really good finisher as well.
It was an amazing finish, as was the second goal. You didn't actually see it, did you, Arne?
No. No, I was still inside. So, I heard people cheering, so being happy, and I was like, this can be a red card for us, because then the whole stadium will be much louder, and they can't have scored. So what must have happened? I thought maybe a player coming in for them. But when I walked out, I heard it was a goal for us, so pleasant surprise.
But now this game is out of the way, Arne, the burning question, do you anticipate there to be conversations between the higher-ups at both clubs about the future of Alexander Isak?
I think the story should be about Hugo Ekitike scoring another goal for us. And it wouldn't be fair for me to talk about anything else. He's been 3 games with us now, scored 3 goals, impacted the games he played, and as the other ones of my attackers. And this is not the place to talk about anything else than that, in my opinion. But I can understand you asking.
Yeah, we will watch this space. Arne, well, it was a joy to watch. I know you didn't feel it was a flowing football contest, but it was certainly entertaining. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Entertaining, that's a better word than a joy to watch, in my opinion. But,
thank you, Arne, as ever. Well done.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Where should we go? Should we go back to the start? All right, what do you make of? We'll tell you what. We're going to go to a break in a minute, but let's just sum up what we heard from Arne Slot there. And it was interesting because the very first question was open-ended about the kind of game that he thought it was. His response straight away was on, this wasn't football.
Well, this is why I said what I said, because we played sometimes in games like that, and the Premier League sometimes will give you a game like that. But what I like about what he said, and Jamie was mentioning it at the end, and we were talking about it, so many times they were not patient enough on the ball. Every time they put the ball down and they tried to make 3 to 4 passes to go on the right and on the left, they did open up Newcastle. But they didn't do it very often. I don't know why. Obviously the crowd, they got bullied at times. They were over them. But, you know, I think they got away with one tonight, Liverpool. But look, that's how it is. It reminds me of, you know, the other day when Arsenal won at Man United. People were talking more about Man United than Arsenal. Same thing tonight, but they managed to find a way to win it.
Through strength, like he said?
I'm not sure. I mean, you mentioned the duels in the first half. I thought Liverpool lost a lot of duels in the first half. And in some ways, people always say the best way to win is with a last-minute winner. Of course, everybody knows that. But in some ways, the way Liverpool won is almost the worst way to win, taking away the last-minute goal. But in terms of, like, you're being dominated, you've 10 men, you're hanging on at the end, but they found a way to win. So I said Eddie Howe and Newcastle will be so disappointed tonight, but in the morning they look at each other and think, we were outstanding. I think it'll almost be the opposite for Liverpool. They were absolutely ecstatic in that dressing room. But when the coaches and the players get back to the training ground, the access in the next couple of days, it will be like, we need to sort ourselves out.
I think he was talking about Van Dijk.
Oh, Van Dijk was
outstanding. You have to say at the very end, if you compare Van Dijk and Konate in terms of clearing the ball and the impact that he had on going and...
That's like comparing me and you.
No, but I think Van Dijk was immense tonight once again.
Yeah. I was just imagining...
What's up, guys? I'm back here with another video. Please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.